Welcome back to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent here with Nathan Najib, the blueprint to help you become a millionaire real estate agent. Today, off the back of a real estate conference that we attended over the weekend, last weekend, called AREC, the best real estate conference on the planet. This was your first time, Shah. And the reason I got Shah with me here today is because I saw she sent me her list of what she wants to do off the back of AREC, and there was questions that was put out by Tom Ferry, the five questions. If you don't mind, Shah, can we share those? Your answers to those, or you don't want to share it?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind.
Because I think it's important. Like every single speaker that we heard over the weekend, they said that obviously the mindset is the most important thing. All of those guys had the inner core so sorted before they started doing the big numbers or achieved great results in life. If it was the actress Reese Witherspoon,
yeah.
If it was Nick Brockman,
yeah, great guy,
right? And if it was Rich Rolls, or if it was Alexandra Phillips, the $20 million agent,
yeah,
or if it was Amit Naik,
yeah,
from McGrath, that a chef came 3 million in real estate within a few years. All of them had the right mindset, and I'm assuming they would have answered those 5 questions. And the 5 question was, the main thing about was like Ned spoke about the intrinsic motivation and an extrinsic motivation.
Yeah.
And by that, what he meant was, extrinsic is like you're doing it for impressing other people, for letting the society, showing the society how successful you are and what kind of car you drive and what kind of house you live in.
Yeah.
Intrinsic is like you want to help your family, you want to send your kids to private school, you want to buy a home for your family, or you want to bring your family from Malaysia to live here with you. In your case, or in Amit's case, he wanted to bring his family from India to live with him, right? So intrinsic and extrinsic, and every single guy or girl that came up there had a strong mindset. And the mindset, we speak about the mindset, system, and skill set in real estate, as we call it, the real estate, the triads. Now, I just want you to tell me about what was your thoughts about the conference first year, and how you feel. Why did you come up with the list and the execution? Because 99% of people that attended that conference, I guarantee, won't do nothing with it. Because it's not about attending the conference, it's about executing it
100%.
afterwards. So tell me.
Good question. For me, first of all, I'll answer the first question you had, which was my experience at my first AREC.
Yeah, what you done?
I remember us walking, and then you told me, Shah, it's going to change your life because you remember your first AREC. And I agree. I think when you get into real estate, it would be good to go to AREC and have that experience, because you learn a lot. And you see all these agents and you hear from them, because you only see social media, right? Yeah. And you actually see them and talk about their experience and get the opportunity to hear their story. And you realize that all of them actually started with nothing, but they all had one goal in mind, and that was to be successful, to do the right thing by people. And I think the common denominator for everyone in that room was that you actually have control of your life.
Absolutely.
You have control of what you want to do with your life. So that was a big takeaway. Because I went into AREC thinking, man, the market is so bad now. What do I do? And I was thinking that I was doing everything I could.
Yeah.
But actually, I walked out of there after 2 days, and I realized I've not even done most of what these agents have done that I could be doing.
Here's a secret though. when you go to a conference like that and you see just a normal guy,
Yeah.
just a guy, a girl like you and like I, come from a very humble beginning, didn't used to drive the flash cars, didn't used to make millions of dollars a year. They transformed their life from humble beginning, and you're like, huh, if he can do it, if she can do it, so can I.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Because this guy here was nobody 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And look at him now, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is why it makes AREC, because these guys here, they all started from nothing. And that's what John's special about John is, and we're going to talk about him in a minute. John McGrath, who founded AREC, is because he brings people who's got not just successful financially, they're successful, they're beautiful human beings, like everybody that walked up onto the stage were just good people, right?
Yeah. 100%.
So looking at people doing exactly the same people like you, like I, like somebody else doing the numbers that they're doing, they're living the life that they're living, then you're like, okay, if he can do it, if she can do it, surely so can I. That's what makes that conference such a special conference. So I want to go through.
Yeah.
So we'll share your list, if that's cool, because the 5 questions is like, what's your purpose in life? And you want it so beautiful, and I'm sure you have thought about this for a while. Provide for my family, give them a life they thought never possible, bringing my parents to live in New Zealand for good. This is what you call an intrinsic motivator. That's gonna wake you up at 3:30, gonna wake you up at 4, wake you up at 5. People say I can't wake up at 3:30 like you do, I can't wake up at 5 o'clock like some other people.
Yeah.
I said because your mission is not as big to wake you the hell up out of bed at 3:30 a.m. right?
Yeah.
If your mission is big enough, you can do anything.
Yeah.
What are your God-given talents? You put that there. What are your values? And it's 20 years from now, how are you showing up for others? What did you build? What is the vision, right? Who would you be if you were already here? So we'll share the questions, and we're gonna have a chat with you off camera if that's okay to share your answers to those as well, so people can get it. But that was shared by Tom Ferry. Tom Ferry was #1 coach in the planet, and he was saying that the goal of persistency, being consistent. He says, how long you've been studying real estate for 4 years, and he would say, if you what do you think you're gonna be doing so well, right?
Yeah.
He would say, right?
Yeah.
It was so interesting.
Going back to Tom Ferry though, that question actually came from Mike Vance, which is his coach, right? So yeah, I think it's one of the best questions to deep dive and actually really think about it.
Sure. Now let's go click on the conference. So I made some notes, and I'm gonna go through people that spoke at AREC, and we can share the things that they see. Like if it was Tom Ferry, he said, run plays that work, stop doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
And by that he means is if you're an agent, your goal is to list, prospects, still list and negotiate. Stop doing all that dumb shit that you're doing, having coffee with your mate down the road, and then you calling your other friend and gossiping or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
Stop doing that and start prospecting and doing some productive work, right?
Yeah.
What did you get from Tom Ferry? You got your notes. Do you want to share?
Tom Ferry was pretty straightforward. He gave us some amazing material that I've actioned as well and got good responses to. I think with him, he was very direct, straight to the point. He just said, stick to the basics. There was a few things that he said, 5% of the people who are on our phone list are actually sellers.
Yeah.
So what are we doing with them?
Yeah.
Are we calling them? And all the systems and things that he was talking about, it's just implementing it. It's stop making things complicated.
Yeah.
When actually sales is really easy. All we need to do is just stick to the basics and do the work.
Hey, you said that. I'm going to go back to the goats. The goats. There was a goats stand or the goats, what do you call it, goats group that spoke?
Panel,
thank you, the goats panel. My buddy Phil Harris, shout out to him. James Tostovan, he's like a superstar, one of the best agents on the planet. Like, he's been around for that long, and he's been doing numbers consistently and forever. And he said that he attended, this was the 25th AREC.
Yeah.
Being the 25th AREC,
Every
he
year.
attended every single one of them. Alexander Phillips, he's the best agent in Australia. And then Marcus Chiminotto, he's an absolutely champion, a beautiful human being too. Phil Harris, he speaks so succinctly, he speaks with so much, he's got this charisma, this guy, and he said this. He said, if we sat down, every single agent, and asked them, say, okay, tell me what do you need to do to become successful? Most of them, probably 100% of them, would tell you exactly what needs to be done. But how many of those people do what they just told you to do, right? And it's not that we don't know what to do, it's just we don't do what we need to do, right?
Yeah.
He talked about the growth mindset, being the best version of yourself.
Yeah. He also talks about stop getting into your head. I think that's the first thing that he walked on the stage and he said, you know, tell the person next to you what's in your head. So head's a scary place.
Yeah.
Don't get in there.
That's Tom Fury, right?
Yeah, Tom Fury.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what you need to do is, like, it's all a mindset game, right? James Toston, he says, if you're not making phone calls after phone calls, if you're not making minimum of 100 phone calls a week, you aren't serious about your business.
Yeah.
So 100 phone calls, if you're not doing that, you should get out of business, go and do something else.
And not making 400k, right? Is what they said.
Sure, yeah. So if you're not doing the good numbers, so that 400,000 or a million or however much it is, comes off the back of making the 100 phone calls. If you're not making 100 phone calls, get out of business. Like, don't get into real estate or if you're already in real estate, get out of it real quick because you're not gonna last. 100 phone calls a week is what you should. They talk about that morning routine. He says, somebody shared this. Fitness is gateway to personal and business success. Maybe it was Phil Harris. Fitness is the gateway to personal and business success. No question about it, because you got to get your mind right before you walk in and be able to make those phone calls consistently, because you could not do that unless you got a clear head.
100%. Yeah.
What else would you like to share? Shah, is there a bunch of other things you took from your first AREC?
I think there was a lot of great speakers. Like I think one of them was also Sharan Srivatsa, who's from the US.
Yeah.
He had some amazing stuff. He gave us some great material. I'm sure that we can put it up somewhere for people if they need it.
Have you got that material? We can share that with
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll put a link. We'll put some PDFs up for you to download, and you can just use it in your business. That'll be nice, actually, because I know Sharan is a guy. I've listened to him in the past, and he grew a business from a small business to hundreds of agents in America. I think he's doing it that again
consistently. Yeah. And I think the other thing as well is those the thing to take is the 5 Ps, the presentation, promotion, person, process, price, strategy. I think as an agent, like that is so important when you get into the business to learn that.
Absolutely.
And be a 9 or 8 out of 10 before, because we can always improve. And as agents, if like you've got all of that and you're at 9 or 8 or 9 in those fields, then when you go and you list and you present, you're always going to give your best. 100%.
Yeah. So the important thing I just want to pass it on before we go, daily routine or morning routine. Fitness is gateway to personal and business success. We've talked about this in the past. The mindset, the system, and the skill set. We talk about. They said something. I think it was Phil. Might have said it again. It was either Phil or maybe it was Tom. Don't try to be different. Just do it better. There's a model that works. Don't make it complicated. There's a model that works, right?
Yeah.
The morning routine, the prospecting, the listing, the selling, the negotiating. Just work on those things and improve, right? Work on your fitness, turn up with a clear head and fit, make phone calls, get your listing presentation to a 9 out of 10. This is the formula. Work out your blockages. What's blocking you from doing all that? What is blocking you? Like, what's your issue? What's in your head that's stopping you from doing
the numbers you want? Or,
yes, if it's a phone call, if whatever it may be, right? And it's guys, this is not hard. This business is so simple. It's great. One of the things that I want to talk about, John McGrath, and what I love about this guy here, John, is he talks about every single time there's a bunch of agents that do tell white lies, that compromise the integrity. They're just going to get deal together. But if you want to be an agent that's going to do well long term, you've got to be have an integrity that's you can never compromise, right? You've got to work with integrity. You've got to deal with humility. You've got to stop doing your ego boost, like doing post in front of your car, in front of a sold car with your gold chain on, whatever it may be, right? Because people are gonna see that. Yeah, maybe okay for your little ego boost for a little while, but I'll tell you what, if you want to be successful in this business, you need to be humble. You need to be very interested in have good intentions, take care of people, and be unstoppable. I mean that, like, you gotta get your prospecting to a 8 and a 9 out of 10, your presentation to a 9 out of 10, your negotiation to a 9 out of 10, and you would do well, yeah.
Yeah, and was it Megan that said even if you're posting on social media, just touching on that, the humble side of things. She said, even if you're posting, just post your real life, post you. Don't have to complicate it and make it all extravagant. People just want to see you.
Absolutely, yeah. Walking with your kids and spending time with your family. Like, you don't need to post all these things that are polished and you want to brag about how great you are, the one sale that you had in 6 months or whatever the hell may be, right? You don't need to brag about that. And if you're making good sales, you don't need to show your flash car that you're driving. Get into other people's level, because humility is going to take you a long way. And as I said, like, John McGrath, he touches on this every single time. The first time I went to AREC some 10 years ago, I was telling John, like, I think I've known him for 10 years now. The first AREC I went to, I had John on stage. He spoke about integrity. I was like, phew. And that was the first time, interestingly enough, Shah, somebody said in real estate that you can be successful taking care of people. And that was like in line with my worldview. Before that, I was like, man, I'm not gonna last in this business. I was doing pretty good. I was doing good number, but like, it's just not me, because it's all about ego. It's all about arrogance. And then when I meet John said, man, you can do very well while you're taking care of people, while you're telling the truth, while you work with integrity. You can do very, very well. In fact, the most amazing people, the most successful people, the most brilliant people are the ones that really take care of people, do work with humility. So, my friends, integrity is something you can't turn on and off. Mindset you got to work on, because you can be the nicest person on the planet, and if you haven't got the mindset, you're not going to last. So we want you to last. If you're a nice person, yes, real estate is a hard place to be in for the starter, but if you're a nice person and you got the mindset to outlast everybody, then you can do very, very well. If you want to know more, give me a call personally. We can have a chat about this. We can share with you our systems. We can help you with your skill set, and we can give you some ideas about how to improve your mindset as well, can't we, Shah?
Yeah, yes we can.
Thank you for your time, Shah.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, and thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys next week.